Hello, my name is May Rose, and this is the continuation of my IVF story, my IVF journey in a public hospital here in Norway.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.
So 4 months after the first IVF round, I was ready to try again. I have moved on and I have mourned for my grandma's passing, so I think that was a good time for us to start again. Unlike the first IVF round, the second round I felt like it was much more on me. So fewer contacts with the doctors, with the nurses, fewer scans, fewer hospital visits. So I just sent them a message and said that I was ready to start again, and they told me that I should inform the hospital via the communication platform Helse Norge. They told me that I should inform of my menstruation in March, and then they gave me the tentative schedule for the egg retrieval on week 16. And then they told me that I should purchase 4 packs of gonapeptile and 4 packs of gonal F and just, do it. But this time, instead of cycle day 22, I was told to start with down regulation on cycle day 19. So yeah, it went smoothly, and it went faster than the first round actually, because now I have experience and I kind of knew what to do. There were still some moments when I felt like unsure, but it went very well. And this time, instead of experimenting when it comes to the dosage for gonal F, I was told to just take the highest dosage from when I start gonal F until the scan. So during the first 2 weeks of the treatment, I was still going to work. I have had lots of evening shifts and day shifts, evening shifts, and then on one of the shifts, I experienced terrible dizziness. So it varied for about 30 seconds, and then it was gone, and then it repeated again. And with the round 2 of IVF, I have had more symptoms, more side effects than the last time. So I have had dizziness and lightheadedness. I had hot flashes. I had tummy ache, bloating. I had very much headache. I had difficulty to concentrate, and I felt like I was being irrationally emotional. Although I know that it was the hormones that's causing all the changes in my humor, I still couldn't control it. So after 4 weeks of the treatment with both gonapeptile and gonalef and all stuff like that, I had to go to my GP and ask for sick leave because I couldn't perform well in the hospital when I'm doing those things. It was just very tough for my body and my psyche. Here in Norway, they don't give sick leave for IVF. You get sick leave for 3 days from the retrieval until the embryo transfer. So if you don't reach that point in the IVF process, say for example, they had to stop the process because your body wasn't responding to the medicines, then you will have to go to work. And I tried my best to be at work for as long as I can. But it was not very easy if you're a hospital nurse in a very hectic environment, very high tempo. I did ask for adjustments, for a little bit extra careful treatment. I asked the admin, and they tried, but it was hard. And I work for different departments, so I work with a lot of people, and I really didn't want to tell each and every one of them about what I was going through. So I tried, but it didn't work out. And luckily, my GP was very understanding. So he gave me a sick leave, and I had the time to concentrate, and I had the time to take things a little bit slower and lighter. I have no problem now of sharing my experiences, because I had a newfound self-confidence, or I'm still trying to regain my self-confidence and trying to fight my social anxiety. But at that time, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to tell anyone. I wasn't ready to face the people. I wasn't ready to answer questions if IVF failed, you know. I was already dealing with a lot of pressure from people I don't even know, like former teachers and former classmates and friends and neighbors asking when I was going to have a baby. It's a very sensitive question, very personal question. So, but I can't really blame them, because it's part of the culture. They're just curious and they're excited for me as well. So during the 2 weeks of sick leave, I tried to take care of myself, and I had the time to reflect actually on what was going on, about, for example, my humor, my irritability. I wasn't as irritable as I had thought I was going to be. My husband was well prepared. I tried to prepare him for this, but I wasn't as difficult. I don't know, you can ask my husband, but I don't think I was difficult. I was very, very emotional though. There was one time at work when I came early in the morning, and then I just couldn't control my hormones. I had to cry. I had to, vent out. And one of my colleagues thought I was having a conflict with another colleague, and then, there was misunderstanding. I didn't mean for her to see me, but she did. So, yeah, it was just the hormones, my dear colleague. But and then there was one time we were driving in the north, and I saw this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful landscape, and I just cried in the car because it was beautiful. And my husband was like, "What's beautiful in it?" It was covered in snow. It was in the middle of late winter, to say the least. It was, yeah, around April, or yeah, end of March. But I thought it was beautiful. Fast forward to the first scan. I didn't have any prior scan before this, so I just went on and used gonapeptil, and I administered gonalef as well. And then I had my first schedule in the hospital after a week with gonalef. So it was a Thursday, and I had to take a blood test as well, which showed that I had a level of 1.35 estradiol, and it was good. And the mucus lining was also 10 millimeters. It was thick enough, it was good enough. In the left ovary, they found 5 follicles. And in the right ovary, I had 3 follicles. And 2 of them are of perfect sizes already, 22 and 20 millimeters. And then 2 was 16 millimeters. There was one 14 millimeters, and then there was one 5 millimeter, and then there was an 8 millimeter, and the smallest was 6 millimeters. So I was happy because I got more follicles than the last time. But then again, I was prepared for, you know, bad news. We waited 2 more days, and then I had the egg retrieval, same process as last time. I was given the premedication, and then I took the Vitrel injection. Funny thing, there was shortage of the Vitrel that we usually use in Norway, so I got one that was, if I remember correctly, made or used in Sweden. But of course, it's just the brand. They work the same way. So it was looking pretty well this time around. No cyst, and yeah. So we had the retrieval on a Monday, and I remembered we were stuck in a traffic jam, and I actually thought that we weren't going to make it, but we did. So my husband went in first, and then it was my turn. I was told to empty my bladder beforehand, so I did that. And there were 4 people in the room. There was the doctor, there was an embryologist, there was a student, and there was a nurse. So they were talking and they did the procedure, and I almost forgot how painful it was from the last time. But it was over, and then we received the sheet from the nurse, and it says there that they managed to get 3 eggs. Yay! So I went home. We went home. We were happy, and I was hoping that they would develop into beautiful embryos. And the same procedure as like last time, we had to wait for the phone call the following day. So the phone call came, and this time they rang me, and they told me that they actually got 5 eggs, and 2 of which were fertilized. So we had 2 embryos. How cool is that? So 1 embryo last time, now we have 2, or we had 2, and that was nice. We were a little bit puzzled when I told my husband that hey, they got 5 eggs. He was like, Are you sure it was us? Because they said they got 3, and now there are 5. So well, things happen, and the doctor said that sometimes the eggs get stuck in the tube, so they hide in the tubes. Excuse me. So yes, but anyways, we had the 2 embryos, and we were scheduled for the transfer 4 days after the retrieval. They asked for my height, and they asked for my husband's height, and then they said that there was a big difference between our heights. It's like 40 centimeters difference. So they said that if ever they couldn't put 2 embryos, they couldn't transfer 2 embryos because of that height difference. So I didn't know that. So our appointment for the transfer was at 1 in the afternoon. We went to the hospital. They did the procedure, and there was something that the doctor said that I really, really liked. It made me feel good. It was when she said, "Nå er det hjemme hvor den hører til." which means that now it's home where it belongs. So yeah, I don't know if it was just the hormone, I was just emotional, but I think it's a very nice thing to say. So they also told me that the other embryo are still growing, and if it managed to grow into a blastocyst, they are going to freeze it. So I was crossing my fingers at the time because it would be nice to have a frozen embryo. Then I don't have to go through all the process again. Any which way, I told myself that at that point, I can no longer do anything. I can no longer do anything for the embryo to actually stick. It will either stick or it will not. So that's just something I could accept. I could hope, I could pray, I could keep myself healthy and positive. But if it happens, it will happen. If it's not, then it's not meant to be. So we went home. I was super duper tired. I just slept all the way in the car, and then when we got home, I also took a nap. So during the rugetiden, or the nesting period, the waiting time, I had symptoms. I had sore boobs. I had all those things that could actually say that, oh, it's happening this time. I had pinching and everything. Yes, I was also nauseous at one point. But the time came for the blood test to check if I was pregnant, and unfortunately, it also didn't stick this time. So there must be something in my womb that makes it a harsh environment for an embryo. I don't know. I don't want to blame myself, but what can we do? And also, the embryo didn't make it to a blastocyst, so it had to be destroyed. So I had no frozen embryo, and it's sad, but that's how the second IVF try. So now I'm going to show you the timeline for the second IVF round. As you can see, I've started on cycle day number 19. Cycle day number 19. And yeah, there was only one blood test and ultrasound to check if my body was responding to the medicines. And luckily, no cyst. And yeah, it took around 28, 29, 30, 38 days this time for the whole process. Long protocol. So at this point, I was starting to doubt whether I should stop trying, whether I should stop IVF. It's very harsh on my body. It causes a stir on my system. But I don't know. My college professor in UP, one of my college professors, she said that you should keep trying, but you should also know when to give up. I need time to process things. I feel like when it's other people, it's very easy on them to conceive. But for me, I had to go through this, and I have this like charm that when I work with someone, they get pregnant. My nurse colleagues, they get pregnant. They all get pregnant all around me. During the pandemic, many of them got pregnant, but it's just not happening for me. So I don't know. We will see. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment or two. And I hope to see you next time. Ciao.